What's going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another exciting episode. Yes, we had Worldie saves. Yes, we had Worldie goals. We had sackings. We had upsets. We have it all. And guess what else we have in the studio with us? Josue, the highlight reel. Spurs defendant up against Gat, John, the Manchester United, All-in supporter. What's up, Nick? How's everything, bro?
Man. It's not bad.
Everything good?
Yeah.
Eric, the instigator, and behind his camera, behind the scenes today.
Sleeping, as usual.
Oh, damn. Marco Dormido.
Wait, what? You talking to me?
No, there he is. There he is. So, yes, if you're watching this, you probably just excited as I am because we're going to be able to see these two kind of go head to head. Although the result really wasn't favoring one party more than the other, but still we can dissect the game and everything a little bit. We're not going to waste your time nor the podcast time and give you all of our handles. If you want to give us a follow, a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, you can do so. Everything down below. And if we're not on a platform, let us know where we're not on, and we'll get on there. But we definitely appreciate all your support, and we look forward to continuing this going. Come share your voice like these guys here, and they're gonna go at it shortly. Before we get into kickoff, I did want to ask you guys, how was your Halloween?
It was okay, to be honest.
Didn't do anything?
No.
No trick or treating?
No.
Did you get a lot of kids at the house?
Oh, no. Well, dude, we got one at we got one like at 1 in the afternoon.
That's
like,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally,
you're like, that's fucking early. Leave me alone. Like, what the?
Yeah, it's 1 in the afternoon. That's like very early.
Overprotective parents.
And then that was it?
That was it.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I didn't do
we
anything.
went to my aunt's house.
Oh, you were here?
Yeah, so my mom left the bowl out. And obviously, like, you know how like kids take the bowl, but they actually didn't take the bowl. They actually took the candy.
Wait, kids take the bowl sometimes?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I did it once.
You're fucked up.
Different generation.
I saw you dressed up as
Thomas Shelby
yes,
from Peaky Blinders. Yeah, that was all Debbie's idea. Because I didn't have a costume, but I did have all that attire because I like those hats. I actually have 4 of them.
It's a good style.
So, pulled it up, looked like a bridge gangster or whatever kind of gangster you want me to be. And I mean, I was also called Jack from Titanic, so I'll take that. I mean, but
that's true. He did wear the hat too.
I preferred Thomas Shelby.
For the record, there was
That's
definitely room for you on that little piece of wood there.
Nah, I would have pushed that bitch off.
Damn. Nah, but yo, that was dope as outfit. Did you dress up as a cat at home?
Nope. As a cat, no.
Oh.
No, I did.
Dressed up as
I
Jack.
did absolutely nothing this Halloween. It was also the first Halloween that we didn't decorate just because we had just a lot of shit going on. We went on vacation in the first week of October, and we never really had time to put stuff up, so we didn't do absolutely anything. And I was perfectly fine with it. Although I am upset that I didn't have candy to
distribute.
To just eat for myself.
Oh.
That's my favorite part every year because I try to hoard as much candy so I don't have to give it out because I want it all for myself.
You guys are horrible.
Snickers and Reese's all day.
Thank you. But first of all, I don't understand whoever called it Reese's. Like it never made sense to me.
Wait, what?
People call Reese's peanut butter cups Reese's peanut butter cups.
It's so weird, right?
Shut up! You were one of them. You were one of them. And if you're out there listening and you called it Reese's, I'm here to let you know it's pronounced recessed. I've looked it up, and it's from the actual company themselves. They confirmed it's Reese's peanut butter.
Puffs. Never heard the song?
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs.
Peanut butter chocolate flavor. Eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Of course I know the song, baby. My favorite cereal. Come on.
That
man.
deserves a follow, just that alone.
Is that Ace really upstairs right now? I'm sorry. I think
You got him excited.
Reese's Puffs. Sorry. I lost track of myself. Dude, I actually didn't decorate the front of my house until like 2 days ago.
See, we were gonna do the same thing, but then we're like, no, why bother if we're just gonna take it down?
Yeah, I just like I felt because like my neighbors had something. I was like, you know what? You can put something up. I want to kind of match. It was cheesy, but next year I want to go all out. I want to be scary. I want to put something.
I don't know. We got
want to hang
enough
some bodies.
We got enough people to be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh,
Dude,
Ooh.
I saw this one TikTok. It was like some guy driving past one house, and he looks down in like the sewer thing, and some guy sets up like Pennywise, and then in front of his door, he puts like the little kid in the yellow
jacket,
yellow
rain
with the
jacket.
balloon. So like at night, if you look down the sewer thing, you'll see like Pennywise.
Oh,
Yo,
nice.
that's
a good
dope.
idea.
Pretty good.
Dope. We'll see. But overall, hope everybody have a safe Halloween. If you got a lot of candy, share some with Gat. You obviously want some of your candy. If you have any Reese's peanut butter cups, I will take those off your hands gladly. But without further ado, I think we're kind of ready to get into all the action that happened this weekend because it was a lot of action. Y'all ready?
Let's
Sure.
do it.
Yes,
Alright.
sir.
Marco, you good back there? Let's do it.
He's sleeping.
All right. So the first game that kicked off the game week again has been Arsenal. We traveled over to the King Power Stadium and we took away all 3 points, which is something that, if you recall last episode, I held my reservations when I said the result. I said my optimistic side wants a win, but my realistic side I thought was either going to be a draw or a loss. I am super happy with the result. And Gary, we pointed out before the episode, statistically, the game didn't really look like it was. It looked like it was a smash and grab for Arsenal, but in reality, it felt as if we weren't kind of dominant the entire game. At least I say 2/3 of the game. But Leicester just seemed toothless at the moment. I don't know what it is with them. If it's because they're missing Ndidi in the midfield, they have to kind of bring that balance to the team again. But Vardy, who is notorious for scoring against us, wasn't shooting today. That day. I'm sorry. We had to give credit to Ramsdale though. He, to me, saved all 3 points. There was no the free kick and the one-on-ones I think he had with Barnes and I forget who else. There was another opportunity, but he has completely proven his worth. Marco, did we write? I know I didn't write him off. I don't think you wrote him off either, right? You said just give him a chance to see how he does.
Ramsdale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro.
I'm so happy. Like if for somebody who we spent a lot of money on and like a lot of stick, who had to deactivate his comments, had to deactivate his messages because he was getting so much stick from Arsenal fans, to come out here and fucking prove everybody wrong and give shit to the Leicester fans too. On top of that, man, I am extremely happy now. Yeah, I want to ask you this question because before we get into the actual game and break it down, you watched the Everton Wolves game today, right? You saw Pickford play. Do you think Ramsdale is making a shout for that starting spot when it comes to the Qatar World Cup?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will he actually get in? I don't know because the England team is still favoring Pickford for some reason, but I would absolutely put Ramsdale over Pickford. Ramsdale he just showed up. He, like you said, he's proving his point. He's shutting everybody up.
Yeah,
and he's commanding his entire box. He's on set pieces. He's great in the air. Like he knows when to come out. He's making good decisions. You pointed it out the last episode. His distribution is awesome,
dude. That's what caught me off guard the most. I did not. I've obviously when he was linked to Arsenal and then he was gonna sign. I was on the rabbit hole watching all his highlight videos and of course those are the best saves, fantastic saves, and I never really noticed his footwork or his distribution in general. And holy shit, it's really fucking good. This like for a player who's gotten relegated with multiple teams, he is definitely, I think, worth the money that he paid for him, possibly even more. And keep in mind he did get player of the season for each of these teams he got relegated with. So I'm ecstatic to see him proving everybody wrong. Arsenal did start the game off strong. Nikki pointed this out. After the first 20, 30 minutes or so, we usually kind of died down, which was the case. It did seem like the case in this game.
Why do you think so?
I don't know. I don't think we died down in this game. I think we understood that there was going to be phases of the game where Leicester were going to take over. Look, we're traveling away. There's no way that you're going to dominate the entire 90 minutes, especially not with the squad this young. Again, Arsenal have the youngest team in the Premier League at the moment. So when you put that, you're traveling away to a informed Leicester because they have been informed recently. There's going to be moments in the game where they're just going to take over. And I think after the first 30 minutes, there was a brief moment where they took over between like maybe the 40th until like the 60th minute of the second half. And then after that, it just kind of felt like we were just in control after that. I never was really nervous. Once Ramsdale saved that free kick in the going into the half, I was like, all right, this is our day. This is it. Because if that would have gone in, 2-0 is the worst scoreline to have. So when he stopped that, I was confident and like, okay.
Yeah, as soon as he called that free kick and I saw who was stepping up to take it, I was almost positive that it was going in because
that's his spot.
From that range, like Madison is just going to put that in.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
and
Ramsdale came up huge.
dude, it gives me goosebumps. Like just thinking, like not goosebumps, but like it's just thinking about like the way he just sprang there and just was able to get the strength behind that. The fact that your all right, if you're Casper Schmeichel in goal and your father's tweeting out that your competition just made the best saves he's seen in years, that's gotta sting a little bit. And that's gotta hurt for his dad to be saying that on top of that, who's a Manchester United legend on top of that. So Peter Schmeichel literally came out and said this guy had the best save he's seen in years. And I agree with him. This could be one of the best saves of the season that we've seen. But I'm super happy that was the result. Emil Smith Rowe making a huge name for himself again, getting on the score sheet. One of the most direct players I think in the league right now. Just runs at you with dribbling and just both.
That reminds me of Kaká when he was at AC Milan.
Ooh, damn.
Kaká does he back in his day,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in that time, he always ran through the defense. Like he wasn't known for his dribbling, but he was known for getting the ball past and sprinting past them.
Yeah, so yeah, and if it does feel like he does have that fluidity to this game where he just kind of
not saying that Bro is ever going to be like Kaká,
No,
but
nobody, yeah.
I mean like there's a little bit of flashbacks right there.
Yeah, and I mean, as an Arsenal fan, Marco can probably agree with this too. Seeing Saka and Emil Smith Rowe coming out of the academy and actually making a big name for themselves, super happy about that.
And also, like, I feel like with Smith Rowe, I don't think there's one player other than him in the Premier League that plays like him, like in terms of his profile. Like, I'm trying to think of players right now who play out in his position or even out on the other position, kind of play like him. He's just one of a kind right now.
He is.
Like, in terms of his just play style.
Yeah, he's just like he's not afraid to take anybody on. For such a young kid, 21, I believe he is 22 years old.
Number 10 on the shirt as well. So it's not like.
Keep in mind, he asked for that. It's not like he was here. No, he asked for the number 10. He wanted that responsibility, and
he got it.
He got it, and I'm seeing that Bergkamp touch, the little depth
smooth.
touch, the little swivel around players,
he does his homework.
Yeah, the little
he does his homework.
Yeah, the little actually does the ball. I'm seeing a little glimpses of that, and I'm just hoping that he continues going on this big good form that he's on right now.
What do you think he needs to improve on?
Finishing.
Finishing?
Final product. So finishing, final passing. His finishing did improve. I have to say that because he's getting the goals. But there's some times where he breaks away and he just that last pass is just perfect. He be getting a lot more assists on top of that too. So I think that's all he really has to improve on. And one last thing I want to shout out is our new set piece coach, Nicolas Jover, who came from Manchester City, came from Brentford as well. That was his track record, and France, Spain, overseas. He's the new set piece coach, and I sent this to you earlier in the week. 4 games, 5 goals. Is that right? No, that sounds wrong.
I think you're right.
Is it 5 games, 4 goals? I mean,
it is.
No, I think it's 5 games. Hold on, let me just confirm that because I don't want to fucking sound like an idiot right now. Because I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Because that's a lot actually. I think it's
the goals might be 5.
Yeah, 4 games. No, 4 games, 5 goals. Oh shit.
4 games, 5 goals.
Yeah.
So 1 coming against Leicester and 1 coming against Villa from Party. What's the other 2?
I am trying to figure that out right now. Arsenal have scored 5 goals from corners in their last 4 games. Damn.
Premier League games?
I think it's in all competitions. I'm mistaken. That's 4 games in general.
Because there's still EFL Cup. Also.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, that's something that we haven't seen in a very long time. The only team ahead of us is Liverpool, and it's a new threat. All phases of the game.
It's interesting because with corners, it's not like normal set pieces like 30 yards out when you have, all right, you're going to have this player run towards here or this player make a decoy run. Like with corners, when you have like 7 people in the box just crowded, I feel like it's
more chaos.
Exactly. I'd like to like research more on how corners from actual whipping the ball onto someone's head and how those work and how coaches try to come up with something new to try to catch an opponent off guard, because whether this guy runs to the near post or the back post or once one guy stays here, it's pretty interesting.
It's got to be some kind of like organization to the chaos that's happening inside the 18. And you're right. Like that's a very good question to ask. Like I wonder how they plan that out, because depending on who you're going up, they're either going zone or man to man. But I'll say one last question about this general game I have for you is Leicester being in European competition. The reason why I'm asking you this is because you guys just came off of a European Conference League loss after you rested our players, and then you guys go into the league, and it happened again. But Leicester, who are also in European competition, are starting to look like they're starting to get a little fatigued. Do you think the European competition is starting to get to all these teams? There's not enough depth.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it doesn't. That goes for teams who do not have a lot of experience in European competitions. I mean,
True.
I think Leicester, they weren't in it last year. They weren't in Europa last year. This is their first European competition, I think, since
No, they were.
They were in it.
Yeah, they lost against Slavia Prague.
Oh yeah, they did. That is correct.
Right.
That is
Yes.
correct. But how about this? A lot of the players that Leicester does have, they haven't seen European competition before, even if they were on the squad last year. It is fatigue, and that goes for any team that is part of any kind of European competition. United, City, Liverpool, even other teams from other nations. But like in the EPL in England, they have a lot more games and also close together than other European competitions, because you got to think of EFL Cup, FA Cup. So I think it is fatigue. But I mean, not taking it away from Arsenal, because they actually did play it well. But I think Leicester needs to try to find a way of how to balance out all their competitions together, like how Man City and Liverpool does, and Chelsea.
And also, I mean, you're seeing it on the pitch really, because they went 5 back, and if you go 5 back, that probably means that you're missing bodies in the midfield.
And
a lot of the likes of Ndidi and Tielemans. Ndidi's injured, and Tielemans, I mean, he's playing a lot.
He is playing a lot,
and he's only playing the pivot. So, and he's also a player who's not known for high stamina like a Conte. I mean, a lot of Leicester fans even admitted like he gets gassed out around like the 60th, 70th minute.
Yeah, he gets subbed on also. He gets subbed on also. So
exactly. So I mean, we can definitely see that the European competition is definitely affecting teams, especially that's not Liverpool or not City or United or Chelsea, who have the crazy amount of funds to go splash on any player, any quality of players to play. Because we see, like, for Liverpool, for example, Minamino and Divock Origi literally only plays for the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. They don't get minutes in the Premier League. Whereas, obviously, Salah, Mane, and Firmino, they play at the Premier League. So it's almost like you play here, that's it, and you play here, that's it.
Yeah.
So, but speaking about Liverpool, Brighton traveled away to Anfield. Me personally, I thought it was going to be a dodgy game, but
what did you predict for this game?
I predicted 2-1 Liverpool.
What did we all say?
You said.
I think we all agreed. We all agreed a Liverpool.
Yeah, we all agreed
victory.
on the Liverpool win, but I think we all agreed on it's going to be like a close and cagey one.
Yeah, because you can't sleep on Brighton this year, and I mean Brighton showed they were able to claw back.
Exactly, but
2-0 scoreline.
But we saw 2-0 up Liverpool. It's just, in my opinion, the midfield is just, its inability to protect the back four right now, it's at its all-time high. Like, I've never seen, I was speaking to Edgar and Eddie about this. I've never seen our defenders 1v1 so much. I've never seen the likes of Van Dijk or Konate or Matip or Robertson or Trent. I've never seen them go 1v1 so much. And that, honestly, that all has to do with the three in front of them.
Yeah.
So it was the midfield three consisted of starting. It was Keita, Henderson.
He went off early though.
Exactly,
right?
got injured again. Unfortunately, Jesus, dude, this guy,
Poor
like,
guy, man.
like, and he was actually playing really well. The guy just gets injured. He just 20 minutes in gets injured. So it was a midfield of Jones, Henderson, and Keita. And when Keita got subbed off, although Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't come on, he got an assist. But immediately when he saw Keita come off, he just saw the whole quality of the midfield just drop. And Brighton just started gradually, like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just gradually creating better chances and better chances. And
Lallana giving the weak spots away.
And Lallana,
old Liverpool.
He actually got a standing ovation after
Yeah.
the game, which is, for my opinion, is 50-50. I don't know about that.
The dedication to the club.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never seen the midfield three just that bad. Like Jones and Ox they're just ghosts. They're doing up ghosts. Literally, they had Henderson in the six just doing everything alone.
Could it be the lack of playing time that they had together? I mean, you never hear Jones and Chamberlain side by side ever.
I agree on that, just because the likes of Thiago, Fabinho, and Keita now is injured. So I never see Curtis and Ox play in a Premier League game apart from a Carabao Cup and a FA Cup game. So I think you're definitely right on that. But also, they're attacking-minded players. So like 2 years ago, when Liverpool were literally at the highest of their peak, they kind of had a pragmatic midfield. It was Henderson, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum. Not any of those players was a attacking player in the midfield three. Like when I think of maybe what's an attacking player in the midfield three? Like maybe when Smith Rowe plays in the midfield three.
You know he's going up top.
Or when Bruno plays in the midfield three. Or when Ndombele plays in the midfield three. Mm-hmm. That midfield three to back then, Gini, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and Henderson, it's just an engine. It's just the engine room. It was about tracking back, recycling the ball, and just letting the fullbacks do the work. Yeah. Now, it's completely different. It's almost like it's too attacking. But it's just we need players back, and without the likes of Thiago and Fabinho and all of them, I personally don't see how Liverpool can go win the title.
Win a title, damn!
How long are they out?
Well, actually, Thiago and Fabinho just came back into training, but you definitely see without those two quality midfielders. And last season, like I'll admit it perfectly, Thiago was terrible. Like he was terrible last season until Fabinho came into the DM.
He wasn't playing his role.
Exactly, Thiago was playing 6. Literally playing in front of the back four, and at Bayern he was in a pivot, but yet he was allowed his free flowing role. Yeah. Now when he plays next to Fabinho, proper DM, he's allowed that. But when you have Jones and Henderson playing next to each other, it just doesn't work. Like Jones has started the last 3 games and they conceded 7 goals. It was Brentford, Liverpool, and this game Brighton. And 3 of those games Liverpool were a goal up. Literally on the goal that De Bruyne scored at Anfield for the City game, Jones was literally nowhere. You couldn't even see him in the picture. So it was just, I was mentioning to Xbox Party, like I rate Jones personally, like he's definitely a talented player, but I just don't see how he can work on a Klopp midfield. The reason why I say that is because he's just not defensively aware enough.
I feel like that's becoming a trend with a lot of teams that, well, I guess a lot of big teams and teams are trying to get to that level. Like, for example, Brentford, very hardworking team, back and forth tracking. Chelsea, back and forth. Man City, back and forth. Liverpool, you just said it right now. Arteta wants the same thing. Arsenal, back and forth. So it feels like it's a thing that's trending. Do you think that Klopp his play style is maybe just becoming a little bit too demanding for the players that are there at the moment?
Well, for these kind of caliber of teams, I think you have to have it. There's only like a group of like 3 players in the world that can play that position. So it was like Gini Wijnaldum, he can only play that position. Henderson can only play that position. Yeah. So it's only a certain pool of players, in my opinion, that can play that certain role for under a certain manager
for so long.
And under a certain group of players around them. Mm-hmm. But now you definitely like right now I'm trying to think. I can't think of not one player that is attacking minded in the midfield 3. Like when I'm trying to think of midfield 3 right now in the Premier League, I just think of workhorses and box to boxes. Like what I'm trying to mean is like what I'm trying to say is you don't see a James Maddison in the midfield 3, because if you see a James Maddison in the midfield 3 or Paul Pogba, they're conceding 2 nowadays. It's not like back then where you can have Dino or Kaká playing in a midfield 3 as a little more free flowing. Now it's a completely different game, and if you do
defensive effort,
exactly, you're gonna get ran over.
There's not a lot of that now.
Well, I guess that's more of a question to have for United, because that's a big topic for them with the Ronaldo and everything. But we'll get into that a little bit later. That Brighton goal though, was that a fluke? Was that a cross?
That's a fluke, 100%.
You think?
That's a fluke.
They're saying it looked like it was a shot. Like he just put it up there, see what happens.
So in my opinion, I don't think that the Tielemans goal that he scored against United, I don't think he meant that, dude. I don't think he meant that.
100% he meant that.
I don't think any of those shots are meant, dude. I swear to God.
I think he meant it, but I don't think that he thought it was gonna go in. But he knew what he was gonna. He definitely knew what he was gonna do. You can see it in his run up.
Kane scored that goal against Crystal Palace.
But that when what's his name scored against Arsenal with the Rabona.
Lamela.
You know, like they do it. Just if it comes off, it comes off. And they came out for Lamela. It came out for Kane, and I think it came out for Tielemans this time against United. But I don't know who was it that shot for Brighton.
Honestly, I don't know. But dude, Brighton, all credit to Brighton, man. In my opinion, I think they deserve the 3 points.
Cucurella?
Dude, Cucurella, the likes of Lamptey, even though we all mentioned he's injured, when he came on, dude, he is crazy. He's a fullback as well. I've never seen a fullback that can take on so many players. He's just so nimble.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I watched him play, I just see him just spin circles around Robertson.
I could compare him with Alphonso Davies, to be honest.
Smaller.
But can Alphonso Davies just like neat and tidy dribbles around him?
Yeah.
I've never
I
seen
can.
him.
Oh yeah,
Think
he
so?
can.
Against Barcelona.
Against
he did a
Mel?
lot.
Yeah,
That's
he did
fair.
He also did it against Chelsea. That's why he got man of the match in that match.
That's fair.
How much time do you give Potter at Brighton?
1 year.
And then he's off to a bigger team.
He's off. He's so good. He is so good.
I think I know where he's gonna end up going.
What do you think?
I think he's gonna end up going to United.
Oh,
I think Conte going to Spurs ruined everything for everybody.
dude, Graham Potter is so good, man.
I think he
He's
goes to
just-
United.
he's-
If United are smart, they're gonna get. He's English too, right? I believe.
Mhm.
They're gonna get
Yeah.
an Englishman. Dude, talk about culture. They're gonna that guy just is. It just seems like a perfect fit to go to United.
And if I'm a die-hard England international fan, dude, I'm praying that Southgate gets sacked for this guy, because if Graham Potter gets appointed for the England job,
Thank God.
dude, they're reaching the World Cup final. I'm telling you, this guy is special.
He's
This
good.
guy, like when Klopp and Pep
Tactical.
leaves, like I'm like overstating it, but like this guy's quality, man.
I mean, look, during the past 2 seasons, last season they had the best XG, if I'm not mistaken, throughout the whole league, and they couldn't find the back of the net. Now, what the difference is, they're actually finding the back of the net, and they're putting into performances, they're getting the results, and that's why they are where they belong, which is, I believe, they're fifth?
No,
No,
they're
seventh now.
seventh or eighth now, I think.
Yeah, because they drew, so
Yeah.
they were in 5th going into this game. Sorry,
I think they got
They're-
better because they
they're-
got
they're
rid of
an
Ben
eight-
White.
They're in 8th now because Wolves won today, so that
okay,
bumped them
yeah.
down.
To the point, yeah, but it's still the gap is so small. But not to your point, I think Potter's a huge guy.
and I mean, you just mentioned like they're putting in goals. They don't even have like a clinical like number 9 striker. They have
Nope.
they have Maupay, and then they have literally against Liverpool, they had Trossard playing in a false 9.
and Danny Welbeck.
Exactly. Come on, Danny.
Forgot
like,
about Danny
like,
Welbeck.
like what this
Jesus.
guy is
I'll
doing
credit
right
him,
now.
but like, come on, seriously?
Like we mentioned like Pep doing this without a striker or whatever. Look at Graham
Right.
Potter with Brighton, dude. This
Yep.
guy has. Like we just mentioned Danny Welbeck, Trossard in a false 9, and some other players just up front. I mean, and this guy's been creating ridiculous amount of chances with the likes of Lallana in the midfield, with the
Just gross in the midfield.
Gross
too,
in the
yeah.
midfield. Like it's not like some world class players that play in Champions League semifinals. I mean,
It's a 1.8 million pound salary team.
Exactly.
Basically.
Well, look, money doesn't mean you're going to be the best team in the world. And I
Exactly.
think Crystal Palace proved that again this past weekend, too, when they faced Man City and beat them 2-0.
That is true.
So, want to talk about the next game?
Let's go.
Any final thoughts on Liverpool Brighton game?
I just think Brighton got better because Ben White's not there anymore.
whoa.
I mean,
Wait. Do you rate Ben White?
No.
Oh, all right.
okay.
Yeah, I gotta say this right now.
I don't even, how do you argue that? He says, no, I don't. We're ahead of Brighton right now. I don't understand how you don't rate him at this point.
This is a whole different.
No,
conversation.
nah,
I
maybe-
just wanted to stir the pot.
No, look, maybe, no, because to your point, Ben White did get a lot of criticism in the beginning. Mind you, the first 3 games, again, those games, I can't really rate any player or coach on those games after what happened because they were just riddled with COVID cases right before the game happened against Brentford.
Yeah.
Benjamin, by the way, not Benjamin White
Ben.
has looked a lot better. Like
That's true, yeah.
now he's starting to like the past couple games he's started to do what he used to do at Brighton, which was progress the ball, dribble up the field. He's doing that a lot more now.
I'll agree. The entire Arsenal team, they
found something.
they found something. They woke up. Ramsdale, Ben White,
There we go.
and along with other players, they have gotten better in after week 5, I would say.
I'd say the game week 3, honestly. We said it here. And
Yeah, as
just
soon
not to
as-
digress, but I think
as soon as Arteta put
once he
on
put in the new
everybody,
players, the game we started getting. I think we're second in clean sheets right now. In the league.
Really?
Maybe.
Second or third in clean sheets.
What I
And
do
keep
know.
in mind, just last episode you were saying we were the one that conceded the most
Yeah.
shots. But we had one of the best clean sheets records in the league right now.
And
If
you,
get-
you guys
can-
actually
can
went,
you confirm that?
and you
with us
guys
if you
actually
get a
went
chance?
down. I was looking at it earlier. I said you guys were 15th for expected goals against, and you actually dropped down. You're 16th now. So that Leicester game, even though I mean, yeah, they
'Cause
had a
didn't
better,
score.
they had a better XG than you. But yeah, they still got through. All credit to Ramsdale. But yeah,
But and I not to digress very much, but once we can confirm that or not. But what's up?
We're third.
Third in clean sheets.
Yeah. Chelsea first, Liverpool and Man City second, and Arsenal third.
Join third.
With Brighton and Southampton.
And I mean, we're rating Brighton too. So I mean, look.
Wait. I want to ask Dara this: who would you rather have, Cristian Romero or Ben White?
I'll say the best.
No, come on.
Don't make him mad because you know you're
to be quite honest, what are you talking about? Because they were both transfers throughout the season, or you're just putting the two?
They're both worth 50 mil.
No, who would you rather have?
You gotta go with the one who's playing better.
I have to go with
It's based off form.
if Cristian Romero's goal, if his goal was allowed, then I would have picked him.
Shut the fuck
This is
up.
miles outside.
Romero hasn't been doing pretty well, so I will pick White.
I am just scared to see Romero under Conte. If it's confirmed like it is, like we're saying it is, I'm scared to see how that's going to transition.
I will get rid of Dyer for Ben White. I'll tell you that. But
Did you ever rate him?
Who, Dyer?
Dyer.
I rated him when he was a midfielder, and he did pretty well as a center defensive mid in his come up with Tottenham. But as a center back, he's trash. He's trigger trash.
You know how that's all. You know who that's all down to? Mourinho, because he was the one who put him at center back. Remember?
No.
Wasn't he the one that put him at center back?
No, he's the one that started Dyer more. He under Pochettino, he was a center back. Pochettino had him as center defensive mid. Realized that he could also play center back. They need a backup for his starting center backs from Vertonghen, Adebayor, Sanchez. Dyer was there when I think Adebayor and Vertonghen were both injured, so he put him in there.
But wasn't Mourinho the one that started actually starting Dyer at center back?
Yeah, because he knew how to speak Portuguese. That's why.
Well, Mourinho.
Mourinho
tactics.
I don't want to go like too off. Like we went way past Liverpool, but we mentioned like midfield three and how like one attacking player. One player for Liverpool that did do that was Harvey Elliott.
He reminds me of Emil Smith-Rowe, and they're both very direct.
And it was so surprising because he got injured against Leeds game, and that midfield three was Thiago, Fabinho, and Harvey Elliott.
Ooh, yeah.
Thiago and Harvey Elliott. That's one of the most like when that comes to mind, attacking, free flowing football.
Creative.
Not creative. Not really like sit back, defensive, pragmatic midfield.
Yeah.
And we barely conceded chances that game. So with Harvey Elliott compared to Curtis Jones, I look at Harvey Elliott just as a diamond. I can look at Curtis Jones as like a decent squad option. Just because Harvey Elliott is just a lot more versatile and just a lot more. He can offer a lot more to the team.
Oh, yeah. And you did say you had a Curtis Jones hot take today, so you got to hear it. Now, let's dive into the Man City game and Crystal Palace. First question is, was that a red card for Laporte, I believe it was, right?
I did not get to see the game.
Okay.
I actually didn't see it either.
You didn't watch it? Did you watch it?
No, I watched the highlights for sure, but it was a red card.
Okay. All right. So that answers that question.
It was tough for me because Liverpool, Brighton, City Palace, and then Chelsea, Newcastle was at the same time. So when I watch a Liverpool game, I'm like fully focused. I don't really watch.
No, that's fair.
They were all the 10 o'clock games.
I had the Man City Crystal Palace game on as well as the Liverpool Brighton game. So that I was kind of watching both. So yeah, no. For those who are interested or don't know what happened, Laporte brought down
Zaha
as a last man. He was about I'd say 20 yards out from goal. But he was the last man, took him down, straight red card, went to VAR, confirmed and everything. I do agree with the red card. There was a couple of other instances throughout the league that weren't called the same, but won't get into that. Crystal Palace, though, man, they're in a new era right now, man. And Vieira has really changed that team around. They're very refreshed. It's very refreshing to see a team that was always known to just sit back and just blast the ball up to Zaha, actually play on the front foot and attack you, come at you. And
they're controlling the ball more too.
And they still haven't. I don't think Ezzy's back yet, is he?
No, he's still injured.
And they have a young team, young midfield. They got Eduard from Celtic, who has great potential. They're gonna look a solid team, but Man City, this game to me looked very, very tired. And if we think back of the Barcelona days, Marco, maybe you can help me confirm this because you probably have better memory about this than I do. How long was Pep there at Barcelona for, and how long was it until we started seeing that he started losing the motivation of the players because his style of play is is extremely demanding, as we all know.
Fuck, I just saw this stat. I think he was there 06 to 12. I
So
think
6 years about. How long has he been in Man City for?
I'll confirm the stat, but I think that was it. I'll double check right now.
Since 2016.
So he's
20.
Guardiola.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016.
So
about
he's
that?
You think it's because he's nearing the end of his contract, so he's kind of
no.
checking out?
I don't
not
think
really,
he's.
or-
No, I think he still is going for Champions League. He has to go for Champions League. There's no like, dude. You got. This is why you brought in to Man City. But his style of play is so demanding, and we kind of saw at Barcelona. And I want to say Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich were just so dominant in the league that there was nobody really else to go against. I think we've all kind of said that the German league is a little overrated. But his style of play is so demanding that it feels like the players that are starting to get affected in the league itself. Maybe they're not as focused in the league as much. Maybe they're more focused in the Champions League. But this game, they weren't. Yeah, it could have been the red card, but they just weren't up for it, man. It didn't seem like they had that extra energy that they always.
I would say that I think the players that Guardiola has, I think they're getting washed up. I think they're getting a little bit too tired of his kind of tactics.
Mhm.
Like there's no change at all. It's basically the same players that he has. With the addition of Grealish, I mean, it doesn't add much of in the back line.
Yeah.
Like it's still Kyle Walker, still John Stones, Laporte, and where the hell the left back is going to be? Cancelo.
Prison FC is sticking over, man.
So I just don't. I think it's like I think the style of play that these players have at Man City right now, I think they're getting a little bit tired of it. Nothing's changing, and maybe you are right. Maybe their main focus is on Champions League instead of the Premier League. But I mean, if I was a coach or any staff member or even a player, my focus is on every game to the last whistle.
All right. So clarification: he was in Barcelona from 2008 to 2012, and the reason why he left was because it became very demanding on him. He felt like the 4 years that he was there, it was an eternity. So that's one of the reasons why he decided to leave Barcelona, because it was too much. It was getting to him too much, and the demands were too high. And I'm guessing that's what's happening now at Man City. That they're asking him for that Champions League, which they've never had, and it gets getting to him because he wasn't able to do it at Bayern. And now Man City is another one that he's not able to do.
It's a lot to ask for, especially Man City, top team in the world now, like one of the top teams in the world. But it's a lot to ask, for a team that has never appeared in the Champions League final until last season. A team that has not been consistently in Champions League for many seasons. It's a lot to ask for. Same thing goes for PSG. I mean, it's expected. I would say I don't expect Man City to reach the final at all. But now that they reach one,
they're expected to just continue.
That expectation is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But I'm still not convinced that they'll be there every year like that compared to Chelsea and Liverpool. Like I'll put you. I would say like I'll put United above them to reach the final, of having to reach the final.
It's the size of the club.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying with that.
So
that's a fair point. I don't know. Man City are just a team that I hate to watch, but you just can't keep your eye off of.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's only week 10.
They have an A, B, and a C squad. They can throw anybody out there.
Is when Pep leaves, will this team fall apart?
It depends on the players, because there are a lot of players that have been there for a little bit of time and are looking for that prestigious trophy. So
there will be a rebuild, but there won't be a fall off.
There won't be. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
there'll be a small rebuild, but there won't be a fall
right now where the rebuild needs to be is striker.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Spurs want to fix that problem for them. But that's all I got for the Man City Crystal Palace game. What? What?
I don't think so.
What happened?
No, I don't know if Spurs are gonna help in that regard.
Oh,
not anymore. Not anymore, at least.
I don't know. I got some conspiracy theories I want to throw at you when we get to that point. But yeah, man, Newcastle Chelsea. What do you think about that game?
Just Chelsea can throw in any player into any starting 11, and they'll be fine.
And still nothing from their forwards. Or
Well,
forward.
they weren't there.
Or forward.
Because
Havertz played in forward
Lukaku
again, right?
and Wiener weren't there.
It's such an interesting concept because what was that stat? Like 17 defenders have like something about that?
Oh, from last week, it was of their 20, 25 plus goals, it came from 17 or 18 different players.
And that's just crazy. That's just crazy because Tuchel actually mentioned a couple days ago. He literally said Reece James and Chilwell, who are his wingbacks, he literally stated that they're like midfielders. So that just means like every position on the field, probably even including the goalie. Maybe not that, but like there's 3 center backs and the wing backs and the 2 midfielders and the 3 forwards. They're included in every single phase of play. Mm-hmm. So it's not like when we look at other teams where only their forwards are scoring. For example, Liverpool, Jota, Salah, and Mane are only scoring. It's not they're getting goal contributions from the midfield, but look at Chelsea. They're getting goal contributions from their center backs,
everywhere,
from their wing backs, from their midfielders. Although it's penalties, still though, it's not like they really need that forward line to score goals. It's more just to create for other positions.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the big takeaway. They're just getting goals from everywhere. My only excitement about this game is that Newcastle continue in the relegation zone, meaning that their rebuild with these new owners is going to take just a little bit longer if they're in the championship. So let's continue hoping that they get relegated. And in the meantime, we'll continue moving on.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna say it's another way. Newcastle, another game. Newcastle showed off strong. Second half, that's where everything just fell apart.
Is Reece James making a case for best right back?
2 goals this game. I mean, I don't see why not.
He's not a right back, dude. He's
right
a
wing back.
Right wing back. He's a right back. He's not a wing back.
He can play both.
He is.
How?
He's a right wing back. He's got
that's not a right
If
back.
he plays, if Tuchel decides to play a back 4, he's probably going to play Reece James.
He's not a right back.
I'll say this,
but he'll probably still play him.
So he'll play right back.
He'll play right back.
I think he's better than Trent Alexander-Arnold.
So you consider him a right back?
If I'm right now, the best team in the league right now, I think is Liverpool. If I were to take the best right back in the league right now and just put that in, if I were to put anybody in Trent Alexander's position right now, it'd be Reece James. I think he's better than Trent Alexander-Arnold on both ends of the field.
Well, when I see people compare them, they play different positions. One has a back 3 behind them.
Very, very.
I don't know. For me, it's like maybe it's a little.
A right back and a right wing back have similarities, but they also have their differences. Right wing back just pushes up a little bit further,
exactly,
like another 20 yards. That's it. But they still have the job. They still have the job to get back on defense all the way to the box.
And this isn't the first time he played. He played right back before Tuchel, and he did well. Yeah. Now he's getting even better. Now he's learning to attack.
Yeah, I don't think his style of play would change much, if any, if he plays right back instead of right wing back.
I think now under Tuchel, he just added more to his game, more attacking attributes, which are crossing the ball, scoring goals. I think he's
they were
overall
great,
game is
and they were great goals.
Exactly,
one from each foot.
So I mean, I get what you're saying, and that's the same position. I
still
think he's the best.
Just take out the
W. If you were, it's take out the W. He's a right back.
It's a letter.
Dude, I don't think he's a right back. But
what do you guys think? Is Reece James the best quote unquote right back or right wing back? Do you differentiate it? What are your thoughts on that? Yeah. Take notes on that. Take some notes on that, Nick.
just go to FIFA Ultimate Team. They'll have a right wing back and a right back.
There you go. So that's it for the Newcastle Chelsea game. Chelsea win that game 3-0. Now let's get into the game that we're all excited to talk about. Except for Josue. I'm very sorry, Josue.
Right,
but
I'm out of here.
on that note, well, we called it El Sacchio, and it has been confirmed as El Sacchio because
Nuno El Sacchio Santos.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it right.
Come on, baby. When I'm right, I'm right.
When I'm wrong,
dormido.
Yeah, I thought I was the one that was sleeping.
Yeah, I'm saying you.
Oh.
No, you don't know me.
I am sleeping.
When I'm right, I'm right. And I'm waiting for him. Like, oh,
it was still hard.
Man's still in hibernation right now.
But yeah, so Sacchio has been confirmed. Nuno is no more. Conte is apparently the next one coming in.
It's already confirmed.
Fabrizio Romano confirmed it.
Here we go.
Tuesday is the contract. Tomorrow.
So we
already had a
see.
verbal.
And we'll get into that whole signing in just a bit. But before we get into that, we do got to talk about the game. Give Ollie his credit where it's due. He changed it. How excited were you when you finally saw a different formation? Although we saw McFred, they look better.
Yeah, so I was telling you before we started. So I was at work. You had sent the text in the group chat about McFred, and the first thing I thought of was, why?
Same thing again.
Right. So I was like, okay, he's doing it again. But then I saw the lineup, and that's great. I mean, you have an extra defender, so that took a lot of pressure off of McFred, and that was probably their best game that they've had in
a bunch of veterans on
a
there.
while.
A bunch of veterans.
So I mean, he finally changed something. I also said, he's not going to know what works until he actually tries something. He tried something new. It worked. We finally got two striker system that I've been saying since day one, since we got the confirmation that Ronaldo was coming in, and he's got to stick with it.
Will he stick with it? Well, actually, obviously you're saying he's gonna stick with it, so you're assuming he's gonna stick with it, right? Do you? And so you can definitely jump into this after he answers because this win you guys had, although it did come off of a big loss, you guys had to respond. You guys did change your formation. You did seem to get it right this time with putting 3 in the back, and it looked to be like a solid 3. There were still some kind of chances that got in there on the Spurs end, but at the end of the day, Spurs look very weak. They look very, very, again, toothless. No, they were long balls, static movement. There wasn't anything happening. There wasn't that creative player wasn't really coming in, and the fans were completely against anything Nuno did. Do you think that had a lot more to play within the result? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think 2 of them, besides Ronaldo's Worldie, that was a beautiful fucking ball from Bruno and a fucking amazing finish from Ronaldo. Besides that Worldie, I think the other 2 goals were player errors that had to go.
I don't remember the sequence leading up to Cavani's goal, but I know Ronaldo chopped it to the side and then he hesitated just long enough, and then he fed him through. Yeah, he fed it through.
I'm pretty sure the Cavani one, it was like
defensive error.
It was like a
he caught whoever that center back was. It might have been Romero.
Exactly,
I could be wrong, but he caught him flat-footed.
One of the center backs tried to go for it, just like missed it, and just fell to Ronaldo, and he just passed it to Cavani.
I forget how the other one was, but if I'm not mistaken, it was also.
That game happened so long ago, I can't remember.
It feels like it happened so long ago, right? It was another defensive error, but are you in the camp that okay, this is a good response back? We're getting things again, or is just kind of like a smoke screen to the problem's still not fixed yet, guys. Let's kind of calm it down a bit and take the next challenge on, which is Atlanta and then Man City.
I think it was just a case of, I mean, both clubs just came off of defeats. Obviously, one defeat worse than the other. So this game just was a lot to prove for both, for the managers, for the teams. I think United wanted it more. They needed to bounce back more than Spurs did. They just wanted it more. So it's a little bit of both. Yes, the new system worked, but like you said, Spurs just also weren't really in it. So of course that was in play as well. But I think United just wanted it more.
How did you see your performance on your camp,
though? As soon as I saw the starting lineup, I'm gonna be like, I was like, literally like, I had no idea what was going on because Davies over Reguilon, and Reguilon, not saying that he's having the greatest of seasons, but he's actually performing pretty well.
Yeah, he does pretty well.
I think he has 2 assists so far this season, and I think. And then in Ndombele not starting, Lo Celso being put in, I understand that you want to be fair to the players, especially based on their contracts. However, when it's a big game like this, especially when I'm not saying that his job was on the line because it was a little bit unexpected. Not gonna lie.
Oh really? You thought he was stay?
I thought he was gonna stay. Because I didn't hear any reports about him being sacked or like a warning at least, just like how it happened with Pochettino, and Mourinho. Ooh. So, I mean, like Ndombele, he is the player that was creating chances, throughout the season. Lo Celso, not at all. Reguilon creates chances down the flank. Davies lost his mark. Literally, ball went over his head, and that's how Cristiano had the Worldie. Like I said, not taking anything away from Fernandez's beautiful lob and Cristiano's beautiful shot. But you gotta stay man to man. You gotta stay man to man. Reguilon, he has that, and also they both played at Madrid together. You know, I'm not gonna say that Reguilon knows Cristiano Ronaldo, but at least he will have that like. All right, I know what he might do.
Yeah, he knows what his tendencies are, so he'll try to be there before he gets there.
The only time I can think that Davies actually played against Cristiano was the 2016 Euro Cup. and that was Wales against Portugal. But besides that, I mean, like it was when I saw that starting lineup, I'm like, Dyer's still starting. I'm like, come on, man, like he's horrendous.
You
And
really don't rate him.
Oliver Skip, he was being booed. The reason why all the fans were booing at the substitution between Lucas Moura coming out and Bergwijn coming in is because Nuno was making the wrong substitution. He's saying that he needed Bergwijn to create more open play. If you want to create more open play, leave Lucas Moura in, take Oliver Skip out, because Oliver Skip was not pushing forward. He kept passing it back, and that's why a lot of the frustrations from the fans were coming from.
Well, look, although it was a 3-0 result, do you guys have any idea what the XG was for this game? Don't even look at your phone.
Well,
Take
what?
a wild guess. XG, expected goals.
Oh, expected goals?
Yeah, for the game. And the 3-0. What's your wild guess XG was?
I think it was under 2 for each.
1.39 for United, 1.16 for Tottenham. Meaning, it wasn't that far off.
No. I mean, in my NBC predictor app, of course I was being biased, but of course I kept it a close game.
You were home.
We were home, and we did come from a loss. I know United also come from a loss, but they also came back from a bad loss against a top rival team.
So they had to bounce back. There was no ifs, ands, or buts.
I put Tottenham winning 3-2, but it was United getting 3 goals and Tottenham losing.
Well, look,
and that's also why that was my prediction. I thought it was going to be 2-2. I thought there was going to be more goals for that same reason, because both lost, so they both had something to prove.
Does that XG thing kind of surprise you though? Is it kind of like oh shit? Because again, I pointed out before how I think last season was a fluke, that the whole second place that United got wasn't truly the representation of where they belong. I think they're still top 4. Don't get me wrong. I still think they're still a top 4 team, but this expectation that they got to win something this year, which I think Marco does have a good point, because they signed Ronaldo, they signed Baran. I don't think it's something that should really be expected. It's because, again, look at this, 1.16, meaning that they didn't create that many more opportunities as Spurs. Again, Spurs had a pretty bad game. They let a lot of they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had 2 errors leading to goal.
They did the Cavani goal, and
was it? Would you say the Rashford goal, or would you say the Ronaldo goal, just because he didn't?
No, I think it was a Rashford goal.
All of them.
Rashford goal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was a great ball from Matic.
I think somebody lost the ball. I remember that it was.
I stopped paying attention to the game because I was also a fan booing.
I mean, I don't blame you, man. But
so quick to answer your question. I mean, it surprises me a little that the expected goals wasn't that high, but it also doesn't surprise me because it was a new shape. So they did need some time to. They need to still, work how to properly play it.
And to your credit, new shape causes errors in the opposition, and they scored the goal. So they took advantage of what they actually created. But now I think we can kind of bring this over real quick to Spurs and the big news that is coming out of, I think, all of the socials right now. The social, what is it called? World atmospheres.
Yeah,
whatever it's called. I forgot what you said before. You said the Twitter or something.
FT, football Twitter.
Twitter space?
Oh, Twitter space.
Internet space. There you go.
The web.
The web. The web. www. Conte is apparently going to be announced on Tuesday. Now, we know him as the coach that will leave the minute he doesn't get what he wants. But we also know him as the coach that can win new silverware, without a doubt. We also know him for an interview where he gave, where he said players that are dedicated he loves, but if they're not, he will kill them. A few players that come to my mind: Ndombele, Dele Alli, Harry Kane.
A lot of players with high egos.
High egos and are not playing right now for the badge and just even for themselves. Do you think Conte can bring this team around? Do you think that Levy's going to give him the money? What are your expectations if Conte? Well, when Conte comes in, because Lewandowski is coming in.
All right, let's go back to this past summer transfer window. Conte was one of the mans that Tottenham wanted to sign. However, Tottenham were not going to meet Conte's demands about money, about bringing in players, about what Conte wanted.
So they brought in Nuno.
So they brought in Nuno because Nuno, he spent his 5 years at Wolverhampton, and he was a free agent. So hey, let's bring a man in. He has some success with Wolverhampton, bringing them from, and he gets sacked.
I just don't get it, man. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm trying to understand what the hell fucking they did. I feel bad for Nuno.
Okay, it's because what I think what really set Levy off. Levy is he's really like straightforward guy. I feel like as soon as he heard the fans booing at what was going on, because I never heard Mourinho being booed at, I never heard Pochettino being booed at, none that I can remember to my knowledge, or all the way far back to Harry Redknapp. I can't remember any of that. So I feel like Levy realized, hey, this needs to freaking change because we can't have our fans booing at our players. We can't have fans booing at the substitution. What's going on? And Nuno Gomez, is it Nuno Gomez? Espirito Santo. I don't know why I'm saying Nuno Gomez. Anyways, Espirito Gomez. Anyway, he is not. He doesn't. He's not assertive. He's not strict. Every time when I see like a different team, or even if we're winning, I just see this and him like with his beard. I feel bad that he got sacked out of nowhere, yes, but at the same time, I understand, because you can't have a coach who's not. I don't think he was putting the 100% effort. He's too nice of a coach. You can't have too nice of a coach.
Dude, how what I don't understand, and I'm trying to like put myself in like as a Spurs fan perspective, is how does Daniel Levy, the guy who runs the club, how does he go for Conte, does not agree to his terms, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I read that Nuno was like the third option, goes to Nuno. What? Well, say it out loud. I don't know what you're saying.
Eighth option.
It was his eighth option.
Okay, thank you. He was yeah, I'm like, what are you saying there? No, thank you for that. Eighth option. So already there's no confidence in the players and the coach himself. So he got man of the match the first month, I believe.
Manager of the match.
Manager of the month for the first September. I think he got it for.
It's August, I think.
August. Okay, so he got manager of the month.
That's when they won 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
but all the games were 1-0 results.
Yeah, so there's already questions in there. But regardless, you hire this guy who's your eighth option, no faith in him already off the rip, to sack him, not even, I guess, 10 games in, and then to go back to the guy you said no to begin with. Mind you, you got rid of the guy who got you the Champions League final just a few years ago. I just don't understand.
It's because I put a lot of thought into this as to why Conte, because Conte disagreed with Tottenham.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's because it was mid transfer season in the summer, so Conte already had in mind of who he wants. But now that they're in the middle of the season, transfer window is not until January, and it's only an 18-month contract.
Yeah, that's not.
So
yeah.
What I think is that Conte realized, all right, I'm not gonna get what I want. However, let me try to see what I can work with. Let me observe. Let me feel out the team. Let me see who I can keep and who the hell I want to get rid of. Who's not going to provide for me? Who's not going to provide for the team? So that's what he's going to get for the next 2 months. That's what he's going to try to feel out for the rest of the season. And then once the transfer window comes, then he's going to get those players that he really wants. And then that's where Levy is going to be like, all right, you want to get rid of these players? We'll get rid of these players, and you can bring in these players.
I find
it's hard. It's hard to come up with that logic, but this is what I put my thought process in.
And the only reason why I can see that thought process actually coming to fruition and becoming reality is because, and I said this in the chat, and this is my conspiracy theory that I'm bringing out to the world, and let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Will Conte coming in be the catalyst that will get Harry Kane sold, or I guess any other big player sold, to get that money in and build a brand new team, just like Gareth Bale when they got that money in and built a whole new team for Spurs. It was a bad team they built.
It was.
Now they got Conte, who is, I think, has a pretty good eye for
talent. It's a tough one to call because you don't know what could be part of that deal, of that contract. It could be Harry Kane stays. It could be these players have to go, or the amount of players that would, I guess, result in the budget that they need to get rid of.
Only one being.
So, I mean, I could definitely see Harry Kane being the only player of Spurs leaving because he does have a high budget. But at the same time, I could see 4 or 5 players at the same time leaving. Dele Alli, Ndombele, Davies, even Hugo Lloris. I could see all these players possibly leaving, including the captain.
Wow.
Because Conte, he has high demands.
He does.
And Levy, he's going to want to meet those high demands as long as Conte also meets his demands.
So do you think and this again, this is all conspiracy theory. The reason why the contract is what 18 months, I think it is.
18 months is because I feel like
they're gonna give him time to see how he does, and then now you get the money.
Yeah.
It's
based on performance.
Yeah.
By Conte, but also by the players.
Okay. Damn. I mean, I don't know. Look, this is gonna be exciting to watch.
I'll tell you this: we're tied for second for the fewest goals scored. We only have 9 goals scored. Though the team that we're tied with is Southampton, and the team that's below us is Norwich, who has only scored 3 this season. Compared to last season, we scored 5 or 6 in one game against Southampton, and then it's ridiculous. So something needs to fucking change.
You think Conte coming in will revitalize Harry Kane?
I don't know. I also heard a rumor that Kane had COVID and like his lungs is not the same anymore. But to revive him, I think that man needs an oxygen tank.
Here's my question. So obviously we know Conte plays 2 at the back. So I want your full 11. What do you think he's gonna play?
With 3 in the back.
With 3 in the back.
3 in the back.
Your full 11.
Like a United lineup, a Chelsea lineup. Ooh.
Not Dyer. We already established.
Yeah.
From goalie all the way to the.
If Dyer could speak Italian, Conte's gonna put him in. Nah, I think he's gonna. Hugo Lloris in goal, of course. 3 in the back. I would prefer, or my opinion, or what I think Conte. Okay, Davinson Sanchez.
This is your opinion.
This is what he wants.
What I want, or do you want what Conte do you think?
What you want, because we don't know what he's gonna do.
All right. Romero, Davinson Sanchez, and I would much rather prefer Tanganga over Dyer. Not gonna lie. Right wing back and left wing back, Reguilon and Emerson. The 2 in the middle, Højbjerg and Ndombele. What's that? How many is that right now?
You need 3 more up top.
3 more
up top. Son, Kane, Bergwijn.
Over Lucas Moura?
Over Moura? Moura playing behind Son and Kane?
It's tough. It's 3-4-3. No, it's 3-4-3.
What'd you say in the middle?
Sanchez, Romero, Tanganga. Reguilon, Højbjerg, Ndombele, Emerson, Son, Kane. Yeah. It's tough between Moura and Bergwijn, to be quite honest. I feel like Bergwijn has a little bit more flair and able to get around defenders pretty well. Lucas Moura does have more of a defensive minded, but could also attack. It's up to Conte right there.
So give me one player you think is going to be revitalized under Conte, because we see when Tuchel came in for Chelsea, we saw Andreas Christensen. If I'm not mistaken, this guy has like 35 clean sheets in like 46 games, which is ridiculous. So we saw a lot of players under Lampard for Chelsea that weren't as good. Tuchel comes in, gets them crazy, like Tony Rudiger. So who do you think it's gonna be that? Who do you think it's gonna be that group of players?
That group of players
that who gets like crazy.
That one's
revitalized.
Harry Winks. Harry Winks over Skip, 100%. 100%. I don't know what the hell Nuno was thinking about. Skip was terrible. But to answer that question, I mean, it's a tough one, because like all these players, they all need to be whatever that word that you said, resurrected.
I wonder why
restored.
I wonder why Conte chose this job. Like, why not?
He has to be paid some crazy kinds of money, dude.
Or he's getting what I've seen.
I think he's trying to prove a point that like he can handle any kind of team.
But he said it himself. He doesn't like starting projects. This
is the reason why he went. He went because, and this is the reason why it's 18 months. He went because he's bored at home. He has nothing to do. He needs a team. He needs some distraction. So he said, "Fuck it. I'm gonna go to this team that needs a coach, help him out a little bit, while I find something that's more my fit, and then leave."
I also think
that's my opinion.
Warming up for the big job.
I also think what you said that he doesn't like starting projects. He's in mid-season. The project's already going on.
There's no project going on.
So, no, okay, there is no project going on. But like, what I mean was like, exactly, there's no starting project. Like he's already coming mid-season.
He has a blank sheet to kind of do what he wants.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. Conte coming in is probably going to be the best thing or the worst thing for Spurs.
Just be better fucking attacking, and Kane needs to wake the hell up.
We'll see what happens. Let us know what you guys think this Conte appointment is going to do for Spurs. Is it going to bring them back to the top 4 battle? Is it going to bring them to the European competition? Who knows what's going to happen? Conte is a big coach, big ego, big reputation behind him. So let's see if he can bring it along to Spurs. A few shout outs here. We want to do Norwich versus Leeds. Norwich continue to follow. Well, I'm sorry. They're on track to break the record for the least
worst points. Yeah,
least points.
I think
earned.
that they're projected. I think 7.
Yeah, I think the
lowest
was
was
11 with
Derby
County.
Derby County. Thank you for that. But guy was very. I had to list it down, but you made sure you had to give this guy a shout out. Rafinha.
He's crazy. He is absolutely crazy.
Did he get called up to the Brazil squad?
Yeah, I'm so glad he did too.
He did.
I mean, did you see his goal?
Oh yeah.
I mean, his footwork is amazing. I did not expect him to go through.
He's a player who I would say is very attackive, and I guess it kind of fits that mold that you were talking about earlier.
And the midfield 3.
Yeah. Dude,
he's very attacking. He is very creative.
He does strike to me in that he's very tactically aware.
Mm-hmm. And I mean that goal, like you said, like he went around a lot of players.
There was a lot of people in between him and the goal,
including
Tim Krul, and he still got it through.
Yeah, cruel for cruel. That sucks. But
and a lot of teams in the world right now need a right winger. And I always say, if PSG ever need a Di Maria replacement, it's that guy. So I look at Barcelona.
So you think Rafinha deserves a big move after the season?
Absolutely, dude. He's so good. He's ridiculous. He's good. Only just because obviously he has the Jogo Bonito and he has the flair, but this guy also has the end product that nowadays,
work ethic.
Exactly. Nowadays, we all boast about. Like even Jack Grealish said about like a couple months ago. Yes, I'm like a flair player and whatnot, but I want to get more goals and assists. Like the game is all about
end product.
Exactly, end product. Rafinha has both. He has entertainment and he has end product, so he can go to any team, whether it's Barcelona. Barcelona need a right winger right now. They don't even have one. Ousmane Dembele is he's literally in the hospital bed.
Well, he just came back because he sacked Coleman. I'm dead ass. Every time the Barcelona manager gets sacked,
he gets
Dembele
fit.
comes back.
Oh my god,
that's Marco. Marco, am I right or wrong?
But
yeah, they just announced that he's back. He's ready
really?
for this upcoming game.
Yeah,
and
every single time.
Agenda.
But Barca, PSG might have Messi. He's gonna leave in 2 years' time. Liverpool, Salah. Like there's so many teams that need a right winger. And if I'm a manager, if I'm the CEO or board director or whatever, I'm going for Rafinha. He's so good.
Well, I don't see Salah leaving.
No, it's just an example of a lot of clubs that need a not needed. Obviously, Liverpool.
So you think it will happen like in this upcoming not January?
I think he might leave this summer.
Okay.
I mean,
he could leave this summer.
I look at any player under Bielsa, and I had to give them respect because Bielsa ball is one of a kind, and to have what Nico says, that flair, the end product, the tactical awareness, and to also have that engine and the work ethic to drop back is great to have. And yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to have that player in your team? The last one we got to announce, we want to go over is Aston Villa versus West Ham, mainly because West Ham are really putting a fight for top 4, man. And to me, Aston Villa are very disappointing. I was expecting to see a lot more of them this season with the signings of Buendia and Ings because they got rid of Grealish, but they haven't came to fruition, man. Like nothing.
Okay, I mean, you're signing a striker from Southampton.
Was a good goal scorer.
Decent.
He had a lot of goals last season.
He was good. He scored 22 goals.
He was at Southampton. He had to do a lot of the work. I mean, Ward-Prowse was there, but now that he's at Villa, he's got other players that can do the work.
Buendia, who came from Norwich.
But best player of the season. That's
okay. I'm not saying these are poor signings, but these aren't signings that I would see Aston Villa being in top 10.
But they were top 10 last season, though, and that's the thing that
because
Aston
they had
Villa,
Grealish, captain Grealish.
But you can't. I don't know, man. I look at the signings they made. Aston Villa got a lot of credit this offseason for investing good money in the players that they had, like Watkins, Grealish, although he left. Martinez, they got a solid goalkeeper. Buendia, the best player in the championship last season. Danny Ings scored a tremendous goal for Southampton.
Bailey too.
Bailey, exactly. Yeah, Leon Bailey,
Yeah,
another one.
He's always injury. He's very injury prone.
Yeah, but they're 6 losses.
To be quite honest, I'm not surprised by it at all. I mean, I'm surprised that you guys are surprised.
I was expecting more from them. I guess you could say.
Nah, my expectations was the same.
West Ham continue on the route to claim a Champions League spot, which is huge. My last question to you guys here, and then we can end it on this, unless you guys have any other final thoughts. How fucking good is Declan Rice?
He's amazing.
He is good. He is really good. If West Ham does really well, this season, finish top 4, I still see him there. But I think if West Ham does finish out of top 5, I do see him leaving because he's playing extremely well, and all these top teams are gonna want him.
My eyes woke up during the Euros. I remember exactly saying, "This guy is so overrated. Go get Locatelli for 40 M's and not Declan Rice for 80 to 90." Declan Rice, this guy is serious. This guy is something special. Just because, first of all, he's the captain of West Ham at such a young age.
That's true.
What other player is just the captain at such a young age for a huge club? I mean, West Ham, one of the best teams, like, if I'm not mistaken, like the 60s. They have a huge amount of club legends. And to have a player at such a young age to be a captain at that team in that position as a DM, it's crazy. And it's just, he can play for any team right now. He can probably start for Liverpool.
He's DM, right?
He's a DM.
He's DM.
So he United. I
just think of mine right now, bro. I'm like, fuck. If they
United.
I mean, apparently there's a rumor that did kick up again. The rumor that we're interested in it.
Chelsea's.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, it's a rumor. I think I read something that he wouldn't mind if it's like around 100 mil.
And in my opinion, like,
which is like
100 mil what
to go, like, if that's what they offered.
Wait, Declan Rice has no say over how much he goes for.
No, and that's right. That's just a rumor. That's what he said. Like, if that's his price tag, like, he wouldn't mind going. I don't know. And that's just something. I don't know.
I
just came across.
I'll go for 100 mil. I'll go. Who the fuck says that?
And like, I feel like
you probably got it from Ultimate Team.
Yeah,
or like, career.
Wow.
He probably plays a lot of career mode.
It was on the One Football. I saw it was one of the articles on One Football.
That's hilarious.
And obviously, 100 bags is a lot of money. Like, you can go spend that. You can spend that like for like on Haaland, or whatever. But like,
his
he's
like 80s.
But Declan Rice is quality, man. Like, if United would be able to get him, I always say it. A great DM, and he's great at distributing the ball.
Ooh, are we done with that topic?
Yeah,
actually, just thought about something.
What's up?
Because of United's great win this past weekend without Pogbizzle, do you see Pogbizzle coming back into the starting lineup? Because he is one player.
Nick is a big fan of you right now.
He is one player that has a lot of experience, veteran-wise, at a young age, well, mid-age, whatever, over McTominay and Fred. However, Fred and McTominay did play well together. Do you see Pogba replacing one of them when he comes back after 2 more games?
It's sticking with this new system. It's gonna cause a lot of headaches because we have a lot of attacking options, and now with this new system, that kind of just limited our attacking options because we added the one defender. Yes, it got Cavani back in the lineup, which I really hope we continue seeing both of them up top, but it's gonna cause a big headache. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got to rotate eventually. He can't keep the same starting 11 every single game, domestic and European. So he'll get in. Not right away. But
as a starting 11,
as an established starter,
is he United better with Pogba?
I don't think so.
He has his moments.
That to me says no.
To
me says inconsistent.
If I'm only going to Solskjaer and it's a Champions League final and I have to pick an 11, I'm not picking Paul.
How do you not pick Pogba though? That's the thing. Like,
just
you have that talent there.
Doesn't matter.
He doesn't fit the system. I get it.
The name doesn't mean anything. Yeah. There's 2 big names on the bench right now for United: Van de Beek and Sancho.
I get it. No, I get it. It's just hard to like look at it. It's hard to think about it. You know.
I mean, I
think how much talent.
I think it's more of what type of back three are they trying to play? Like, I know they're playing. If they continue playing with the back three, right? What's gonna be forward? It's gonna be like a 3-4-2-1 maybe, or a 3-4-3. It really depends on what they want to play. I'd see Pogba playing, but then Cavani has to sit out, and it'll be a Pogba, Fernandes, and Ronaldo.
It's because what I see is I see Pogba being more attacking. If it was a 3-4-3 formation, like if we were to replace Fred or McTominay, but Fred is attacking. McTominay can go as far up, but he wouldn't. I don't think he goes into the box. He just stays behind the box. But they both get back real well. I mean, Fred, he got a yellow card because he fouled the crap out of both Bergwijn and somebody else. I forgot who it was.
Within a matter of like seconds.
He was good against Spurs. Fred?
Huh?
Fred? He was pretty good against Spurs.
I mean, like,
both of them.
I hate that I'm actually giving a lot of credit to United on their performance about my team. Is his mic off?
Well, look, I mean,
is it?
The reason why Fred McTominay looks so better is, but they look better is because they had the extra defender behind them.
The pressure wasn't all on them anymore.
Money, pressure. What did I say? Last season, I think it was a fluke. They were in fans. There wasn't that pressure of that on top of you. Look at them now, man. When they're at home, they don't look the same United. Yeah, this away result was when they had to get. And again, we're digressing talking about United Spurs game, but I don't know, man. I think this result was kind of a smokescreen. I still think you guys are a top 4 team, but
I just want to see this formation, but with Pogba
with different players.
No, not different players, just Pogba. Pogba in the middle for either Fred or McTominay.
I want to see us go against Man City. I want to see how you guys line up against Man City. That's going to be a true testament to see what Ollie is all about. If he has the brains for this, if he has the tactical awareness for this job, because obviously he's in a hot seat still. But yeah, we'll see how you guys do. Anything else? Any final thoughts, Marco? Well, you're smiling over there, bro. You good?
No, just we're away at Everton, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll do predictions on Thursday. So, any final thoughts, my man?
No, I'm good.
With that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all support. We greatly appreciate it. Please come share your voice. Let us know if you want to join on the bench, if you want to join via Zoom, whatever it is that we do. But yeah, we're the bench with the voice. With the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.